All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first in-season episode of Inside the GEFA for the 2024 season. We just had our kickoff just this past weekend. We're going to talk about a lot about that. But my name is Danny Morales, and here is your host, the man who knows about all the teams, your president and mine, Mr. James Simerson. Take it away, good sir.
You're killing me with this stuff. All right, so we got episode 4 right up here. We got Brent, we got Trey, we got Thor. Of course, we got Danny. So, like he said, we had our kickoff classic. Danny, that was your first actual involvement with the league in person.
Yes, sir.
So, what was your thoughts on it?
Well, I thought it was, a good introduction to the league. I got to meet a lot of the players. I got to meet some of the fans that came out, and it was overall a really good time. You guys know how to put on a good show football-wise. But it was fun. It really was fun.
So, what was your favorite moment from it?
Ooh, favorite moment was roaming the sideline during the Warriors game. Because if people don't know, I am from the Wilkes-Barre area. We're right near Wilkes-Barre. So getting to roam the sideline, cheer on the Warriors and just not just the Warriors, but hang out with the other teams too was definitely some of the best parts of the day.
At what point in that game did
And when we were leading.
all right.
Not so much at the end.
I was gonna ask which half.
Not so much the second half. Not so much the second half. But I prefer the first one to the second half.
Reason.
How did you like doing the interviews?
Oh, that was fun. That was fun. I'm surprised of the questions that popped in my mind, but I think they were some good ones.
Nice. So you didn't go into your interviews with like a script. You just ripped those
I
questions
just
off
wung
the
it.
top.
I just winged it. Wing it or whatever. I don't know.
No, you hit all of them. I thought about it too.
One of them's gotta be right.
Yeah, I was about to say you hit on one. So
It only takes one to be right.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
It's
So,
it's
out of the people you
unfortunate the
interviewed,
weather
who was your
wasn't better.
favorite?
Ooh. Definitely the guy from the Raptors because he was down so big and you could tell he just wanted to get out of there.
Oh, Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie. Like I feel bad. I felt so bad for Frankie because I didn't know what to ask him because he was down. The Raptors were down so bad that I'm like, you know what? Just go home. Just go home at this point, Frankie.
Go and put the leg up, brother.
Right.
Take a rest and
Yeah.
relaxation.
Go home, watch some March Madness. Nobody will blame you.
put
Nobody
the
will
leg up
blame
and
you.
watch March Madness.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh, facts. I love it.
Yep.
Which game was your favorite? Was it that Warriors one or?
I would be going against my hometown if I didn't say the Warriors, so I would have to say the Warriors. Is that a Vikings jersey?
Might be, Danny. And the way you've been talking since we got never mind. Go ahead.
We got you on Saturday. We got you on Saturday at our place.
Hey, I know. I see it. That's why I asked you if you're going to be there.
I'm absolutely going to be there. Hopefully roaming the sidelines of the Warriors, but honestly, Trey, best of luck and hope we don't beat you too bad. This is going to age so poorly.
Damn.
This is going to age so poorly.
Hey.
I'm gonna look back on this next week and I'm like, how was I so confident in us?
Damn.
I mean,
I love it.
you got that picture with Greg with the belt.
Yep.
You got to hang out with Greg. Greg's the quarterback of the Vikings. You know that, right?
Oh God, I have to root for the Vikings, don't I?
Greg
No,
won him
because
over.
Greg and I we
Yeah.
were hanging out at the beginning of the Warriors game. Like we were on the we were right behind whoever the Warriors were playing. I forget. We were right behind
Okay.
their bench, and we were just, we were just having fun. But yeah, I'm Greg. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I have to root for the Warriors.
Gotta be honest, Danny.
What?
Greg, honesty. Gotta root for your home team.
Oh, I thought you said you were gonna be honest and then give me a scathing remark. That's
Oh,
what
no,
I
no, no,
thought was
no,
gonna happen.
no. I'm always on your side. Just week 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We root for each other, just not when we're playing each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
But that makes sense.
always a
That
shoulder
makes
to
sense.
cry.
Yep. 100%.
All right. So, any other moments stand out for you?
Definitely. Now, if you guys weren't there, we had a raffle. We had everything from football cards to signed jerseys to experiences. And I ended up winning. Let me see if I can get this real quick. Ba, ba, ba. Here we go. This mini Vinny Testaverde Buccaneers helmet with what I think is one of the coolest logos in the NFL. It's the simplified Buccaneers logo. And then the signature is right there.
There you go.
Yeah, the guys that worked, McNulty's, James, worked really hard at getting some really awesome stuff in that raffle. That's definitely a cool item there, Danny.
Yeah, that raffle was amazing. Some of the coolest raffle items I've ever seen.
What were some of the other items?
Ooh, we had something from the Turkey Hill experience, a whole bag of football cards, and a retro NFL t-shirt, along with a Michael Vick jersey from Virginia Tech. Let me see. We had Fred Warner, a signed Fred Warner jersey. We had I think some travel vouchers, and I really can't think of anything else that we had. Oh, and with the jersey, with the helmet, came some Buccaneers trading cards. Oh, here. I'm missing some, but these are the ones within reach.
I mean, if you guys want, I could go downstairs and tell you what was there.
No, James, we're not gonna let you track it out.
If you want to. I mean, we're not stopping you.
Because Chill won a lot.
Oh no, we came away with a lot of it. My parents especially. We came away with a good third of the raffle. Domino's gift cards, a couple experiences. We came away with a lot.
So, what other good memories did you have from the classic?
Definitely just, getting affiliated with GEFA football, hanging out in the press box, learning how y'all play, and just, having a good time. The weather was not fine though. I'll tell you that right now. Like absolutely not.
Sounds like a Saturday for GEFA football.
Ended up being a party in the press box.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. They were like
It's because
they were
everybody
like
was freezing to death.
there were like 10 to 15 people in the press box, and one of the people from the school ended up saying that they had to kick some of us out because we were all trying to huddle up to get in the cold, to get out of the cold. But we had a couple food trucks there, and it was just an overall great time. And I want to thank y'all for inviting me.
What about the style of football?
Yeah,
What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the game?
it's definitely more Smash Mouth, shorter field. I'm surprised that the kickers that you guys didn't have that many field goals or whatever, and that we didn't really see, fourth down punt returns until the last game of the day. But in NFL, you see fourth down punt returns 20, 30, maybe even 40 times a game. The fact they
Some
took to
teams in
game
this
3 to
league don't
see
like
it.
to punt.
Huh?
Some teams in this league don't like to punt.
Like those old Madden rules, if it's like 4th and 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, we're within 30 yards. We can get it.
Right.
No, I
Like,
remember
that's the old
seeing
rule.
a college play one time. It was third and goal at like the 6. One of the guys fumbles it, and then they start running after, and they start chasing it, and they gets down to all the way to like within the 10 on the other side of the field. And it was crazy. But back to the kickoff. Yeah, it was a good time.
All right, so let's get into the games. Before we get into next week's games, we'll start off with the Titans versus Miners. We all picked the Miners on this one, and the Titans won 27-24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
That was a
fitting?
good game, though.
Isn't
was a good
that
game, though.
fitting?
Yeah, it was a really good game. It was
That was
close.
like score wise, hey, that's a great game, you know?
Yeah,
It was
good
close.
game.
score wise, yeah, it was a good game. Not when you watch the film.
No,
The film tells a different story.
what I saw is that there were a lot of turnovers by both teams
Yes.
in that first
Yes.
game.
I need this established. Who was, because I was watching on the stream. Who was who? There was like a red and black. Is it red and black that I was seeing?
Yeah, that's the Titans.
That's
That's
the Titans. Okay.
And
Yeah,
then the white
Miners
was the
are
Miners.
purple.
Okay. I thought they had some good like weapons, like outside guys, like outside receivers, like DBs and stuff like that. Both teams, but
Yeah.
just like inside the box, it didn't really look cohesive.
The Titans' run game was nice. I thought the Titans ran the ball pretty decently. Their running back runs pretty hard. The Miners quarterback, I mean, he made some good throws, but his wide receivers didn't make catches. Like, seemed to be a problem for them. They did
dropped
have the one though where that dude mossed the shit out of that guy.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was definitely some issues with bringing the ball in. I mean, the game was only a 3-point score, but we also got to remember that Miners defense scored twice, and I got a safety. So 14 of
Both
their
defenses scored.
Yeah.
ultimately credited to their defense, but where things didn't seem to click great, but I don't know. I was kind of surprised. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised with how the Titans played. Like, because normally first year teams coming in here first game,
Right.
they don't usually play that good. I mean,
Right.
they look like a team that put in practice. Like, you know what I mean? Like they worked. Like I said, their run game was pretty decent. I mean, their passing game a little sketchy, but I mean, they weren't bad.
I honestly feel like that second quarterback, that number 6 that they switched to, they started
The
out with
righty?
they started out with number 13 and then switched to number 6, who was also playing like safety for him, I believe. I feel like, I mean, he came right out and scored 2 drives in a row.
Yep.
Momentum of the game back on their side. So, I mean, it's the first game of the year and they're a brand new team, and we knew they were going to be working some things out. So it's interesting to see what they're going to bring to the table this week.
Yeah, that actually screwed me up because I'm watching the film and I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't the quarterback just left-handed? I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And then I realized they switched. Yeah, I mean, it looked like I had this conversation earlier. I said it looked like 2 first-year teams playing their first ever game. You know what I mean? Like it was sloppy. Yeah, the weather was miserable. It was sloppy. Line struggled. You know what I mean? like I said, the Miners quarterback, he threw some good passes, just weren't caught. They couldn't really run the ball. Titans ran the ball pretty decently. There's a lot of turnovers, a lot of bad snaps, a lot of missed handoffs. I mean, it was pretty
Snaps were
ugly.
the game of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, the one couple of
not
series
even
I
close.
watched,
Airmailing them.
the couple of series I watched today when I was on the phone with Brent, it was like Miners would throw an interception. Titans would get a high snap that would go in the end zone for a safety.
Yeah.
Miners would get the ball back, throw
Mhm.
another interception.
Mhm.
Titans would get another high snap going for a safety. Like the weather was just not forgiving at all.
Right. And it was like that all day. Like not just with the rain, but with the cold.
Yeah, I heard it got pretty cold.
I mean, the rain finally stopped and everybody was all excited, and then it just like dropped like 15 degrees
It
instantly.
was at one
Jeez.
point the wind chill was like 34.
Damn.
It was colder than that.
That's what I heard. It was like 15.
Oh,
Yeah,
it better not have been 15. You kidding me?
It was brutal. It was brutal out Saturday.
Yeah.
It's that wind. Whew.
Yeah,
That shit
that
gets
Oh
wind.
yeah, the wind just was a killer.
Especially as you're soaking wet. Oh my God.
Oh my God, yes.
Rough to play that early game on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the next game. Buffaloes, Raptors.
The clinic. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling this game the clinic. Because that's exactly what the Buffaloes put on, was a fucking clinic. I mean,
Yeah.
it was rough to watch. Like,
I have to
I
add
just
that Justin Duarte wants it to be known the second and third quarter the Buffaloes did not score.
they didn't have to at that point.
That's what he said. He was like, "Hey, we
I
held."
think they started the game like what? They were up like 18
I was about to say they went
right
up
out of the
fast.
gate.
Like, yeah,
So
it
It was quick.
they scored those 68 points in the other two quarters.
that's what I said. I was like, okay, so you gave up 60 something points in the first and fourth quarter.
Here's my thing, right? Like, and I had this conversation earlier with James. Like, the team has talent. I mean, I don't think anybody can deny that. When you watch film, they clearly have talented players. You had 4 months to prepare for this team and that run game, right? Because we all know that's what the Buffaloes are going to come out. They're going to establish a run. They show that they can throw the ball, but we'll get to that. You had 4 months to prepare for that, to come out and play the run. Literally, the first drive, they ran it right down your face. Second drive, right down your face. I mean, what are we doing? Like, we gotta be coaching better than that. Like, you have 4 months to prepare for that, and they ran it right down your face, knowing exactly that's what was going to happen.
I was
and they continued to do that.
They did not know.
Here's the thing too that's wild is, we talked to the Buffaloes and they talked about like adding things to their offense and whatnot. And I honestly think that the Buffaloes were so confident that they could come in and win this game and run the ball down their throat that they did what they did before without showing us anything new.
Yep.
That they've got ready to go. Because
I think they showed a little bit. Because we always talk about it. We've been talking about it since they've been in the league. This team can run the ball. They're gonna run the ball. They're
Right.
gonna spend 90% of their game running the ball, if not more than that. But can they throw the ball? Because they're gonna get in games against teams that are gonna shut down that run game or make it real hard for you to grind out first downs like they like to do. And you're gonna have to make passes and you're gonna have to complete them. Can they do that on a consistent basis? And they went out there Saturday and proved that they can throw the ball. Like, I mean, they were hitting some open receivers and everything.
In the fourth quarter.
So, I mean, that's That's dangerous. That's going to be a dangerous team right there. If they can build on the passing game and then keep establishing their run game, I think right now their only downfall is defense. Like I think if the Raptors would have had a better offensive structure in that game, they might have scored more points.
Yeah.
There were holes. There were openings for them to take advantage of opportunities, and they didn't cash in. First and foremost, you got to protect your quarterback. I mean, you snap the ball and the damn D line was in the backfield. I mean, how do you expect to do anything with that?
3-man rush.
Yeah, three guys. I mean, the right tackle was a revolving door for them. Like you just got to be more
This bye
prepared.
week, this bye week should benefit the Raptors then, right? This week 1 bye, only team that's
Absolutely.
getting a benefit.
It has to, and they need to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there were a lot of pieces there, but it just seemed like there were a bunch of strings that really just needed to be pulled together, and hopefully they can utilize bye week.
From what I saw, they have talent. They have talented people on that team. They
Right.
have guys that they could do damage with if they could just put it together. Like I don't know, how much they've been putting in work. I mean, when we had them on the podcast, that's what they said. They were working. They were grinding all off season, and that's kind of my big take from this whole situation. Like we had you on the podcast, you've been grinding all off season. You brought a lot of your talented guys back from last year, or at least a good portion of them. Added new pieces. You have 4 months to prepare for this team. The team that beat the brakes off of you last year at their house. You want some retribution, some revenge, coming in with a bad taste in your mouth, want to set the tone for a good season, and you come out and just are fucking dead in the water. Like, I mean, they didn't have any offense going on. Their defense was like a revolving door. I mean, they just did what they wanted to them. They just like fucking put them up against a wall and slapped the shit out of them.
Oh shit.
Now with the Raptors being
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just constructive
Right.
criticism. Like that's just, you know what I mean? Like we expect the Raptors to be one of those teams, out there battling for a playoff. So when they come in and they get absolutely fucking whamboozled. I mean, it's got to question some shit.
right, tighten up the sideline, get control of people and their interactions with the officials. Those
Worry
types
about
of
playing the game.
they're going to be in a better spot. I mean, because you're in the booth and you're right over top of the home team, you get to see some stuff that other people necessarily don't. And you can see players bickering with each other. But on the other hand, you could see leaders on the Raptors team trying to motivate people to get back in the game and pull things together. So I think they've got some stuff. Let's just, see how they pull together over the course of the season.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. You come out, you get beat the hell up week 1. Yeah, lucky the schedule works out. You get a bye week 2. So you're back to the drawing board. Watch film, break it down, figure out your problems, get the practices, put in the work. You know what I mean? But first and foremost, like you got to clean up front. Like you're not going to be able to do nothing if you can't block.
Right.
I mean, running back got a handoff. As soon as he got the handoff, he got smacked in the backfield. It was like, holy shit. Like the damn D lineman could have taken the handoff. He was that close.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. You're asking a lot. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you can't get them the ball, it doesn't matter.
All right, let's move on to the third game. Williamsport versus Warriors. Williamsport wins 32-26.
What did you think, Trey?
Of the game.
Yeah.
I felt it was a great display of halftime adjustments by one team, and the other team, it showed that there's one person on the coaching staff. I feel like if the Warriors didn't just have a head coach doing it all, that would have went a lot better than it, because they came out fast. I feel like they did this last year. Like they come out fast and then they die off. I think they have too many guys doing too much, and I don't see that being able to be fixed fast. But I think it can be fixed. Like week 3, I think week 3 is a really good target point for them. Because like no, probably week 2. I'll say week 2. I'll give them that. Like week 0, they got that. They got that past them. Week 1, it's a wash. We'll move on from that. But I think that they can rally really well starting. What are your thoughts on it?
We're getting this out of the way now.
I feel like it was an interesting game. I mean, you knew that the Wildcats roster had changed, like at least half of the roster was new. First game of the year. Just took a little while to get things rolling. They did make the adjustments that they needed in the halftime. And I agree. I mean, I couldn't imagine being in a position and just having just myself, to try to run a team. If I was just like a starter team and I was just trying to get my first couple of wins and build a foundation, but the Warriors are an organization that we talk about every year being a damn near guarantee for the playoff hunt. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's too late for them to get help. I don't know, what they need to do as far as that goes. I mean, they came out and they were impressive in the first half. I feel like their defense played pretty aggressive. Even though they didn't have some of the big name playmakers that have been Warriors the last couple of years, I feel like they had a lot of rookies filling in and, making things work. But man, that was a tough second half. How about you, Brett?
All right, I'll take this one, fellas.
You got the political
So we'll start with the Warriors. Honestly, they didn't play that bad of a game. You know what I mean? They just didn't execute when it mattered. Is essentially what it came down to. Their defense balled their asses off. I thought their defense played fantastic. They just, they couple questionable calls in there. You know what I mean? They miss a couple open guys. They miss a couple open plays where a quarterback could have taken off for some huge chunk yardage. You know what I mean? Just some things that you miss week 1 games. You know what I mean? Coming right out. You're not as sharp as you would hope to be, and they just miss some things. Second half, Wildcats just kind of took control of the game. You know what I mean? Like they got a couple big plays. I think the Warriors aided that with piss poor tackling. If I can knock on their defense at all, I thought their secondary played great. I mean, for the receivers that they're throwing out there, I thought they did an exceptional job covering those guys. The adjustment that putting Delron in there, or giving it to Delron at least in the backfield in the second half was huge for them. It kind of started their momentum. I thought Ellis looked rusty. You know what I mean? Guy hasn't. I don't think he's played football in a few years. Coming out of retirement, he looked rusty. He looked hurried back there. He looked timid. So give him some time. I'm sure he'll get right back in the groove. He's been one of the better quarterbacks this league's had for a long time. So, Wildcats defensive line I think played pretty well. Specifically, like their nose tackle, I thought, he kind of beat the shit out of the Warrior center a bunch, kind of blew up some plays in the backfield on them. Yeah, I mean, this, it was a tight game in the fourth quarter, and I'm super questioning the call how you run the ball at 4th and goal from the 2 yard line going in for a touchdown when Williamsport is literally stacking fucking 8 guys on the line of scrimmage, like
My
begging
God.
you to run the ball, and
I
you
didn't
run the ball.
I
Like,
didn't
what
get
did
that
you
call
expect to
either.
happen? What did you expect to happen? Yeah, and like you said, this goes back to what you guys said about being the only guy, right? So, he's trying to prepare a defense, he's trying to prepare an offense, he's trying to watch the game and see and make a judge. I mean, it is a hell of a lot of responsibility for one guy. You know what I mean? The leaders on that team need to step up
Yeah.
and take some reins, like how we do. I mean, that's like kind of like how it works. Like, you just, as a leader, you want to step up, you want to take a little bit more control. And that's kind of my thing. Like, I'm just going to put it in context of a cyclone situation. So we're on 4th and goal at the 2 yard line going in for a touchdown. And we call a fucking run play when I got Greg and 3 good wideouts that I could run some kind of RPO. You know what I mean? And we get stuffed on this run play. No fucking way. Greg would have bored the shit out of that play. That thing would have been long gone. He would have been calling that RPO that I'm talking about, or some kind of quarterback sweep, some shit. And like, that's just what I'm saying. Like, so I don't think they played a bad game. It's just when Williamsport woke up and started punching them in the mouth, JR's touchdown. I think Delron had a touchdown. I'm not sure who. JR might actually have the second one too. I don't know the longer one of them. It was kind of like, oh shit, like they had the big kickoff return for a touchdown. They had another huge kickoff return. Like Williamsport just kind of started punching them in the mouth, and they never really responded. Like, they didn't play bad. They just didn't execute and score points.
Yeah,
You know
if
what I
I
mean?
could
And Williamsport made them pay for it.
if I could piggyback off to that, the first half, Wilkes-Barre was amazing. They looked like just the more complete team in the
That's a
first
stretch.
half.
Homer.
I think what you mean
Eh.
is they did really decent.
And then the second half, it just went straight down the cliff. Like,
How much of that do you attribute to fatigue?
I don't know, a good part of it, I guess. It's
Because go
what?
ahead. No,
No,
go
what were
ahead.
you gonna say?
Well, I just a quote from outside the league I heard was like, "What's the point of a 40-man roster you can't, if you don't have like the dogs filling out the positions and have, like a rotation of some type? Guys shouldn't be getting tired. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's what
yeah, that
I've
makes
heard.
sense. Right. That makes
What
sense.
do you attribute it to that? Do you attribute them not having? From your perspective, you were on the sideline, right?
Yeah, I was on the sideline.
Okay, there were a lot of big guys, right? Like big guy, like lineman type guys,
Huge.
right?
Yes.
Is there any reason that the O line should not have left the field?
No.
Like there could have been guys that could have got rid. Do you attribute that to like
Yeah.
not having enough coaching or not having enough people
I
to dictate? Hey,
yeah,
this guy rotate. That's something
I
I feel the
I
leaders on TV need to take
I think they
the
should have
reins
more
of.
coaches. I think they should have more coaches. Like,
I mean,
absolutely.
let's not forget that the Warriors center went out of the game with an ankle injury.
All that, yeah. I
Oh
was about to
yeah,
say
there's
that.
that too.
That was early, right?
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was like the
because the
first half.
snaps
That was
were
like the first
terrible.
half.
Like,
Yeah, well, even that, like the blocking changed too, because like I noticed they started getting a lot more pressure off the nose tackle. Like, he blew up a couple plays. He might not have been responsible for the tackle, but he was definitely the one who put enough pressure on to cause it to not work. You know what I mean? So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the center got hurt.
Yeah, what it came down to was the Warriors started off like a house on fire. I think they jumped up 18-0
Yeah.
yep,
in this game.
yep.
Went into halftime 26-12 and then didn't score in the second half at all. They just didn't finish the job. From one way or the other, it just huge momentum shift. Maybe it was because Dre Taylor went out for the Warriors and Peter Torres had to go in to fill in.
But still,
It was like what one of you said. The Wildcats made the halftime adjustments that they needed to win the game.
without a doubt. But never mind. Nothing. Go ahead.
What?
I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that anymore, Danny.
Okay.
I was about to do something problematic, but I'm not going to do it. So just move on.
All right, so going off a Trey, we're moving on. Let's get into some of the games for next week. We have a lot of teams on a bye week.
Ridiculous.
So let's start off with the first game we just talked about them, the Williamsport Wildcats going to the Somerset Miners.
Sorry.
What?
It's going to be bad.
Might get terrible.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
It's at the Miners.
At the
At the
minor,
Miners.
yeah. I mean,
It's still going to be bad. I mean, honestly, I think Williamsport's out to prove. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they're going to
I
travel.
think they
well.
got that taste last year. You know what I mean? They got the shit beat out of them in the chip, and they came back hungry, man. They reloaded. There were points of their game last week where they started to kind of lose their shit, and they started to kind of bring out that old Williamsport mentality that we talked about, but they reeled it back in. So I got them rolling easily in this one, 56-6. Yeah, I am. Sorry, buddy.
yeah, I'll go next. That Miners defense was definitely their strong point. I feel like, there was a couple of drop touchdowns and probably another 6 passes that quarterback threw that his receivers dropped. If they can make that click, maybe it's a closer game. I say Wildcats 58, Miners 12.
Oh, so you think it's a Wildcats blowout?
I do.
Put LC on the field.
It was open the whole half.
I think a lot of it comes down to are the Wildcats going to look past them? They struggled with the Warriors, which made me ask the question, were the Warriors better than we thought they were? Or was the Wildcats just not as good as we thought they were? I mean, on paper, you look at each roster, Williamsport should have had no problem. But yet we talking about a 20-point swing and a second half shutout for the Wildcats to come back and win. With Ellis going into this, maybe he's not as rusty now that he's got a game under his belt, but he's been off in the GEFA since at least 2018. So it's...
I think that plays into it, James. I disagree with what you just said. Because you said that you said, do you think the Warriors are better than you thought? Like, what did you think? Because they only lose like one game last year. Yeah, they lost in the first round, but they were still like a top team, top 3, honestly. And okay, all right, I'm speaking loosely with that. But I think the Warriors were better than how you looked at it.
I just go by what the comments said on the episode with the Warriors. And not many people thought they were going to have a chance. Or even be in the game as
they were going off of names, which is ridiculous. because
And that's what I'll
the
go by.
names just got put together. You can't go off names. This isn't the NFL, like where guys have like a decade in the league, and we're looking at them go through free agency. The names are still going through. Yeah, you've seen them make some plays, but we haven't seen all these people play together. Like
Right.
they gotta play together. The same way we're saying Ellis looks like he was rusty. I think he was rusty, and I think he's playing with a bunch of people that he didn't play with before.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
and of course, I think they should have leaned on their running game a lot earlier, because the easiest thing to like gel into is a running game, and then you just work from there outward. But they had all the shiny weapons on the outside. They want to throw the ball.
Showcase it in front of the league.
Yeah, and I think that if they would have started the game how they ended the game, they would have probably ran away with it. But I still do think that the Warriors are a lot better than you would. I don't know how
I mean, they still
how
got
I
a
just
lot of
explained
veteran
that.
players.
I basically just explained the Warriors like trash, but that's not how I think they're a really good team. Just under. Sorry, live.
Anyway, uh, going back into it, I do think Williamsport's going to win. But from talking to some of the minors players, even though they lost, all they kept saying was, "Oh, at least we didn't get blown out. It's progress, and it's." So they have a better mindset this year than they did last year when they were getting baptized every week. But you going against a team like Williamsport, and Williamsport's going to have something to prove this week because they're the way they played that first half on Saturday. So it's going to be interesting. Thor, what do you got?
We'll just see how they settle in. I mean, I definitely think the Miners have some improved pieces here, and they have Mayo at quarterback, and he was just an all around athlete for the Thunder when they played. So he's also settling into that position, and I feel like they're a team that's going to improve as the season goes. But we're talking about week 1, so could be a tough matchup.
They got speed too from the Thunder.
Right.
Speed, yep.
Yep.
Beat a person.
Matt Speed, yeah. And then Sharif Blow, he's playing like a safety position for them. He's really aggressive, ball hawk type of player. We'll just see how they piece this together.
You also got to think. I don't think we saw all of the Wildcats.
Well, no, there are a lot of guys that were on the Wildcats sideline that I was looking at that I didn't even see get into the game at all. That are good players. So, I mean,
the Keystone Bowl MVP wasn't there.
Right.
Moving on, Gene.
Yeah, Gabe was still on vacation, I believe. All right, so next game, Mova at Wilkes-Barre.
Pass.
No.
Danny, celeb shot.
I don't want to show too much bias, even though that point's passed already. So I'm gonna pass it to you, Trey. What do you think? From the Viking squad, what do you guys think?
I think I'm gonna pass it to Brent.
Good call.
Of course you are.
Really well. What is your opinion, Melhorn?
Yeah.
My opinion is this is going to be a pretty good game. Nah, I mean, yeah, your Warriors are coming off a tough one. I mean, a game that they probably should have won. Blew a three score lead. That's a tough pill to swallow. They get a home game now. Unfortunately for them, they gotta play the fucking Vikings. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're taking on the top 2 seeds from the Mountain Conference back-to-back weeks. So it doesn't get any easier. It really doesn't get any easier when you look across the field at who's on the other side of it. Yes, might be a little biasness, but I'm pretty sure there's not a guy in this league that would say different. Like, so it's it's probably not gonna be pretty. But the Warriors defense played great last week, so I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't expect the Vikings to walk in there and think that they're just gonna run it up 70 points on them. Like, they're a good defense, man. I mean, they play good ball. Yeah, the Vikings got Greg and Trey and Matt and Hart and everybody else, plus all the guys that they had, Malik, Sean, Steve. They, just as stacked roster as the Wildcats got. We just talked about it, about putting it all together. New offensive coordinator, you know what I mean? On the road, first game, playing in Wilkes-Barre. Team that's looking for some redemption. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen in week 1. I'm sorry. I got the Vikings, obviously. I'll say, you know what? I'm not even going to give a score.
No, give a score. Give a score.
Give a score. Not very many other people can.
Yeah, fact.
First game on the road. I'm going to say 50. 38.
Okay. So closer than the
12-point
first
game.
one.
Yeah, I definitely think the Warriors will play a lot better this week. You know what I mean? You don't go against Greg Medina. I've learned that lesson. Watching him do it to everybody else, I mean, not on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these guys are ballers, man. Whole squad full of ballers. Like I said, it doesn't get any easier for Wilkes-Barre this week.
Right. What do you think, Thor? What are your thoughts?
Thor, what's the date for this Saturday?
30th.
Easter,
Easter, right? You
What
guys
are we
don't do
talking,
too well on Easter.
3-year anniversary?
Wait, hold on. What happened 3 years ago on Easter?
It was an Easter miracle.
Red wedding.
I want to hear Thor's perspective. What happened?
Quick version.
We got time.
We went against a team that we took fairly easily. It was also on another holiday aside from Easter. I think it was around the 20th of April. We were just, I don't know, a little cloudy overall as far as like seeing the clarity of the game. And we ended up losing by 2 points.
Whoa.
Yep. The Vikings got taken to the shed.
We got bit in the snake pit. And
somewhere Ben Simon just shed a tear.
Damn.
I've seen a couple of times he's supposed to be there.
Yeah, I was about to say Ben Simon's actually going to be in attendance.
Right.
He might get on the sideline for the Warriors and coach.
Okay.
I think it all comes down to how the Warriors bounce back from that loss.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's all about how we adjust.
There goes that we thing.
Nah. You're the ultimate we. You're the quarterback.
No, I'm not. I'm not great.
Whoa.
Hey.
Yeah.
Heard that, right? I look like it.
I mean, for one, I don't I think the Warriors defense are going to keep them in, but the decision making on the field, on the offense, got to get better for the Warriors. And I want to take the Viclones by 20.
Wow.
I don't think you said. I don't think you said who you got winning, Thor.
Grow up.
Who do you got?
Well, I'm the head coach of the Vikings.
Really?
I don't know if you know that.
Come on.
Well,
He's
actually,
really
he owns the Vikings.
Uh,
He is the
of
Vikings.
course.
super.
Of course.
Say I am, but
Hey, Danny,
I-
welcome to the show.
I'm a fairly, I'm a
Well,
fairly
thank you for having me.
um, my take is that they really do have a lot of talent. I feel like things didn't go well for Gary a couple of times, but the guy's absolutely a hell of a quarterback. What we saw from him last year in his rookie season was phenomenal, and I expect he's going to have games like we saw last year. So, we're just preparing like we would for any team getting ready, looking at this game and this game only. So we're preparing every way, shape, and form we can. Team's really excited. We expect a hell of a game. I know a lot of people from the league have expressed that they plan to come up to the game. And not only that, but the Warriors typically pull in a pretty decent home crowd and get a lot of people engaged in what they're doing. So we're excited to make that trip out and expect a hell of a football game from them.
Well, I'm sure we're excited to play against you guys. So, best of luck, and may the best team win.
Bro, the
That's all I
shit.
gotta say is may the best team win. Because I know we sure will.
Danny, you want to announce the game with me?
I was gonna be on the sideline, but I could do that.
It's up to you.
Is
I
that
don't
what
want you to take away from the sideline.
I'm not really good at announcing just yet. Give me a couple more weeks and I would love to, but it's all right if I roam the sideline?
Yeah.
Awesome. Because I don't want to be too biased. Does that make sense?
Be on their side the whole time.
Like I would
Can't be any
rather
more
call
biased
like,
than you already are now.
Danny, if you get on that mic, all right, Danny, if you get on that mic and you get excited for something Williams or Wilkes-Barre does, I won't hold it against you. All right, have fun with the game.
absolutely. Well, like I said, give me a couple weeks, let me hone my announcing skills, and I would absolutely jump on that. But for now, I think I'll be content to just roaming the sidelines.
Comes from down here.
No,
Huh?
did.
Comes from down here.
Got
All
it.
right, let's move on to the next one.
Oh,
Cole County Nightmare at Monroeville Titans. Titans 1-0. Nightmare traveling to the Titans. 1 o'clock kickoff.
I'm excited for this game.
That's a travel, isn't it? How far is
It
that
is.
travel for them? At least 3 hours.
whole damn state.
Yeah,
It's probably closer to 5.
Really? Holy shit, they're way over there.
I was going to say they're going from one end to the other.
So I'll start this one out. We saw the Titans this week in the Classic, and their sideline was a bit light, definitely lighter than the Miners, but they came on a bus, and there were a few that trickled in cars here and there. But Lou said, I set a time, and I left at that time, and there are players that I expected to be here that aren't because they weren't there at that time, and I believe that they're going to have at least another good handful of players involved that we didn't get a look at. Odds of some of that being offensive line is probably fairly good. So I think that whatever we saw, we'll get a better version of. But at the same time, the Nightmare have really picked up a lot of what I would call like glue players, kind of the type of guys who are on a program and kind of hold things together, and a bunch of guys who are just free agents across the league. And I feel like they're going to come together as a team pretty quickly because of the type of guys that they picked up. I do think that the Nightmare will come out on top of this game, but it's going to be close. I'm going to Nightmare 34, Titans 28.
Vinny took the Titans over the Nightmare. 36-28. Vinny.
Who?
Yeah. All right.
I was just kidding,
part.
Benny. Love you, brother.
Vinny says he'll be back after the Easter miracle.
With his buff gear on.
He's waiting for his Buffalo mask to come in.
I feel the same way as Thor. I mean,
I'm
Go
looking
ahead,
at the
Danny.
live chat. Live, I'm happy to be rooting for you guys. Let's do this. But you guys continue.
yeah, I mean, I just, I'm never a big fan of first year teams. I know they won week 1. They're at home this week. I still like the Nightmare. 38-28.
I know I'm going to get a lot of calls from one of the McNultys, at least, dealing with the refs and all that stuff, since it's going to be the first game for those refs out at Monroeville. So I think Nightmare are going to win, but I think it's going to be close, like you guys are saying. I'm going to say Nightmare by 6.
My turn.
Yep.
I'm gonna lone wolf it. The Nightmare are gonna get smacked.
Whoa.
They barely put up 27 points last week. It was trash. Everything I saw. Nightmare coming in, or not Nightmare. That was the Titans I'm talking about. The Titans are gonna get smacked. Nightmare's gonna
Then
win.
you're not lone wolfing it.
All right, so then reverse it all. Flip that. Reverse it. I'm not lone wolfing it because I will. I was looking. It's because I'm looking at their roster right now, and I just no, I'm not seeing it. Nightmare aren't winning this game, but it's going to be low scoring because I think the Titans don't have an offense either. So 12-0 Titans.
Oh shit! Threw
So-
him into a loop in there. He said, "Got ya." I am lone wolfing it.
You got to do the howl.
You should tip the cap when you fucking lone wolf
So Trey's going to be taking his first L of the season.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, let's move on to the last game. Hazleton Mustangs at Bedford County Buffaloes.
Damn.
big
Woo. At the Buffaloes?
At the Buffaloes, 1 p.m. kickoff.
This was a decent game last year in Hazleton, if I do recall.
Yep.
Yeah,
Went in overtime.
that's what I thought.
Who's
Tavares says the Buffs are about to trash Tracy.
Vinny's rooting for the Buffaloes too.
Vinny's
Yeah, we know
always going
Vinny
for the
is.
Buffaloes.
Vinny's got a Buffaloes tattoo on his chest.
Lee Townsend's taking Buffaloes 48-26, and Vinny says Buffaloes by 3 scores.
Oh, he lowballed it.
Malik
President say Buffs by
Brion
100.
says 56-6 Buffs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we said that's a shit stomping. Whew. I don't think it's going to be quite that bad.
No.
Yeah, neither do I.
I think the Mustangs defense is pretty solid. They were a pretty solid unit last year. I think it just comes down to their offense. Can they score points?
Who's the
I think their defense will keep them around. I know the Buffaloes. I know the Buffaloes run game's tough, but the Mustangs defense is, they get after it, man. They got some guys that'll get downhill too. They ain't afraid to hit people. And I think they'll be much more prepared for that run game than the Raptors were, especially after seeing what they did to the Raptors last week, or you would hope so. So I think for the most part, their defense will keep them hanging in the game. Is can their offense score the points is what it's going to come down to. And, I'm not sure. I think the Buffaloes win this one 48-34.
With the Jets and
I guess I'll go next here. I'm also picking the Buffaloes. The Mustangs are a good team. It's just really hard to pick against the Buffaloes. We just saw them come out and play very disciplined, organized football. And
Mid-season form.
right. So it's tough to pick against them. I do think the Mustangs special teams helps them out big time in this game, but I'm going to go Buffaloes 54, Mustangs 40.
I think that's the one place that the Mustangs, could really impact the game is special teams against them. I mean, if the Raptors did anything, they did hit a big kickoff return, even though it got called back on the penalty.
Mustangs roster? Looks like they're about to lean towards their run game a lot.
That's the word on the street.
Looking at the running backs they have, the size that they have.
They got Train.
Like
Train's a load, man. That kid's a tank.
I'm going to say 26-20 Buffaloes.
Mm. Mm-mm. Mm.
I feel bad for the Mustangs, plus I like the name, so I'm gonna root for them.
Look at you at the Hands Across America vote.
Mustangs win by 2.
Come again?
Mustangs win by
Railing
2. I'm
up.
not giving any specific score.
Mustangs by
By
2.
2 points or 2 scores?
Mustangs by 2.
2 points or 2 scores?
2 points. You heard it. You tried to get me, but no, 2 points.
Are you sure you didn't say 2 scores, Trey? Just
No,
want to be absolutely sure. Just want to be
I can't wait for the
absolutely sure you
Buffalo
did not
social
say
media.
2 scores.
I know that I hope to use this. That's one of the main reasons why I'm doing this. But just looking at some of their O-line additions, and they beefed up, and that's one of the main things. I feel like if you can match up beef for beef with the Buffaloes, I think they can win it. I think they can upset it, get a nice little 2-point victory, little pull out chant.
Oh man, this is gonna be plastered all over Buff media.
Yeah.
I'm hoping if they win, they put a cowboy hat on Buffalo, but
They're gonna be like the guy wearing a Cowboys hat thinks against the Buffaloes.
Yes. Yes. Well, the Mustangs, the cowboy hat fits even more. I would think.
yeah.
I guess I could see your point there.
I'll give you that. You win that one.
Yeah.
Just like how we're
We'll
gonna
give you-
win
we'll
on
give you-
Saturday.
Is that?
Just like how we're gonna win on Saturday.
See, doing it again.
Oh, it's gonna be a good game, boys. I'm excited.
So it was like, I like this guy before the episode started.
I was the biggest. I was the biggest Danny fan. Now I'm gonna have to wait until week 2.
And I was the biggest Thor fan, specifically because of your name.
Oh,
You know, we'll just have to wait to see if we're still friends on Saturday.
mm.
Don't
I know
worry,
what
Danny.
James
I'll
is
tell you
thinking
what
right
Thor
now.
really likes to be called.
I knew it. I knew it. I was like, I know exactly what James is thinking about right
Pull me aside on Saturday
know
and
it.
tell me.
I'll tell you on Saturday.
Yes. Can't wait. Can't wait.
You can run up and down the Warriors sideline chanting it.
Yes. I am going to do that. I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll take Thor off this game.
I don't
Thor's like,
know.
you guys are assholes.
Oh God, it's gonna be a good week.
Oh,
boys.
I love it when the season's back.
Jamal says, "Yo, Thor, can I get a tattoo?"
Then Bauer says Danny gets a free tat if the Warriors win.
You know what, Aaron? You're on.
No free
You are absolutely on because I've always wanted to get a tattoo. You're on.
You know what, Danny? If we could
Better
arrange
get
it
that gun ready, Thor.
where you can come out to my shop and we can get things set up, we'll do a live feed and we'll get you tatted up.
What are you putting on him, the Viking?
Danny's in the Titanic. No, no,
He's gonna
Scott.
brand him.
No, no. See, let it be known. I have never seen Titanic, but I know the
Gonna
song
brand him.
because my parents raised me on 80s, 90s pop. So
Mm.
I don't know. You might get some Celine Dion out of me.
I would just not put that one on your playlist for Saturday.
I'm rolling up Bump and Celine Dion.
I'll say the same.
Let me see who I got on Saturday because I have a
Rolling.
whole Apple Music full of just everything from like Alan Walker to Evanescence, got some Green Day, Metallica,
Mm.
a lot of League of Legends, Lady Gaga, some Mark Anthony, My Chemical Romance, Nickelback. I know that's controversial, but I don't care.
Thor listens to Nickelback, so don't worry about it.
Good.
Hey,
A lot of
Everybody-
EDM.
everybody treat like they should be treating you too. Okay.
But you don't like you too? You don't like you too?
No. Nobody
That
likes
was a
you.
legend, man.
All right, we got anything else before we go?
No, I just visioned Danny rolling up the Wilkes-Barre game, fucking bumping Celine Dion with 2 kicker 12s in a trunk.
No. If I'm rolling up to the Wilkes-Barre game, I'm going to bump out Enter Sandman by Metallica.
All right, now we're talking.
I work with
100%. Either that or Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi, because I love that guitar solo.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm a huge sucker for just big guitar solos. You know, Beat It
Thor's a
has a
sucker
good
for
one.
Hanson.
Dead or Alive has a good one. Any Metallica song is a good one.
Big on.
All right, Danny, you want to take us out?
I'll take us out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Inside the GEFA. We hope we brought you a lot of laughs tonight. And what can we say? We see you right back here on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, everyone. Let's go, Warriors.
Good night.